What is up, everybody, and welcome to Iron Vlog number 187. This is my journey to become Iron Man. And this right here is a full suit. Today, I'm showing you the neck in particular, which is that part right there. You can see it highlighted there. And I have finished that, and that's why I'm showing it to you. So this is now the third file that I have completed and done. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 files in the torso, and the torso is the part that's like the slowest moving part of the suit. And then I'll start on the arms and the legs, but I have those pretty well figured out, so those are going to go much faster. Knock on wood, should work. But so let's take a look here. Let's flip over to the neck and take a peek-see at that. So here I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the joints on, and I'm going to show you this joint right here. I'm going to flip back really quick. This joint right here is this joint in here. So if I turn this joint on, we're going to see that it moves like that. So you can see how that would allow you to bring your head up and down. And then there's another one down here that's also in this. So this is what's called the sagittal plane of movement of the body. And so there's another one there. You can see how that allows the head to tilt and rock that way. And this one will do the same thing the other way. For whatever reason, this isn't grounded right, and this is moving the torso instead of the head, but you get the idea. It allows for forward and backwards motion like that. So those are the two sagittal joints, and that is, again, that joint and that joint. If I turn me on inside so you can see, there's that joint, and those allow for the head to rot this way, albeit it's going to be less motion than that. This thing is a big, bulky suit, and even though I'm designing it to have a full range of motion, meaning that you'll have like the ability to move all your joints as you normally would, they won't move nearly as far. So it will limit motion a little bit. But those two joints are there, and then so it comes from this joint around to this joint, and this thing is also a joint in here in those slides. Let me show it to you from behind first. I'm going to turn the body off, so just remember that I'm inside, and we'll come here, and this will rock backwards or side to side like that. Maybe. There we go. Ooh, it's being weird. But you can see how that'll give you side to side motion like this. So tilting your head side to side. And if I switch to the front, you'll see there is this joint is hollow on the inside. That's because inside of here, well, you can't really see, but inside of here there's going to be a part, and this is going to bolt together. I haven't put the bolt holes in. I'm going to come back and do that all at the end for the entire suit. But this part will bolt together, and this part slides in here, and there's a little spacer to keep it from clamping down hard onto the part that's sliding, obviously. So there's a spacer in there, and then a solid piece, and then these two outside pieces, and those allow for that. You can see they rotate around this point, the center of this point, and rotate perfectly that way. So the reason for that is to keep it out of the way of my chin. And so you can see here how it rotates like that, and it keeps it from hitting my chin. Obviously, if it was there, it'd be like right in the middle of my face because it's lined up with the back of the neck. And then also, you'll see is that this is a double layer suit here and a single layer in the front. And that's because you want the double layer gives it strength, support on both sides for the actuator that's going to be running in between these. It'll be supported on both sides and won't collapse as much that way. So it'll be much stronger that way, except from the front, that's not being done just to keep bulk down in the front, because obviously this is balling up. You're going to get a lot more motion than trying to pull backwards. So there's not really much motion in the back of the suit anywhere. There's not a whole lot in the front of the suit either because it does get so bulky, but it's much more in the front of the suit than there's the back of the suit, and that's mostly achieved by keeping the front of the suit a little bit thinner than the back of the suit. And then the last one is the ability to go side to side like this. So this would be the frontal joint, and this is going to be the transverse joint, the one we're looking at right here. And so this allows for it to slide back and forth like that, which is pretty cool. And so this allows you to look back and forth or shake your head no. Same kind of motion. So shaking your head no like that, saying that's what that does right there. So pretty cool. Pretty fucking cool, honestly. This looks really good. It's a more simplified version of the, well, it's actually just a smaller version of the lumbar. The lumbar is essentially designed in a very similar way, except it does have 2 layers in the front because there's more room there than there is like underneath your neck. There's obviously a lot less room there. So we can go back and look at it here. Oops, that's the head. Let's look at the full body here. Here's the full body, and here it is, and it lines up it fits really well with the helmet. Now it does not fit. There's a little bit of interference in some spots on the torso. That's because the torso is going to be redesigned, and I'm going to make this area just a little bit bigger to accommodate that neck there. But it fits the helmet really, really well. You can see it comes in from the back here. One other thing I should show is if we switch back to the neck here. So remember, that's me inside there. These bolt holes are interesting and important. So this deep layer of the suit, the back part, the dorsal part of the deep suit, so there's deep and superficial. The dorsal part, the back part of the deep suit is what you're going to get into, and then the ventral part is going to come forward and bolt in. And so in the case of that, that's nothing on the neck. And then both the dorsal and ventral part of the superficial suit are going to come together and bolt in. So in this case, they'll actually bolt in separately here, but this is going to come in and bolt in here, and that's going to be how this entire apparatus attaches here. And then the front piece is going to come in as its own piece, and it's going to bolt in two spots here and here. And obviously the same thing is going on the other side. So this piece will bolt in and put the back in, and then the front pieces that are kind of, because this piece is essentially, you can see how this doesn't attach to any other part of the suit, but this will attach right in here. This will attach to the torso and go down, but this, you can see how this part, the front part, let me actually, this part right here, so you can see how that is now separate. This part will be by itself, it'll be assembled, and it'll have all the joints in it, and it'll come in and bolt in with the two bolts like that. So I am going to be bolted into the suit. That's how I'm going to put it on. It's going to be fucking crazy and awesome. It's going to take probably like 100 bolts to put me into it, something around there. So that part, when the back is on, I'll step in, and then the front part of the deep part will come on, which doesn't include this. And then the back part will come on, and the main parts of the front will come on. And then lastly, these kind of auxiliary pieces, like this part right here, will then come in and bolt in and bolt in. So this part will bolt in kind of like towards the end, essentially, and bolt in up underneath there. Probably. Or it might actually have to go on before the torso because of the interference. So it may have to go in. The order of operations is a little bit up. I'll have to figure that out. But that essentially will come. So it'll probably come in before the torso, but that's the idea anyway, right? So essentially this is just the deep part, right? So essentially just this will be on, and this will be attached to the helmet, and it'll be held onto a stand. I'll come in, I'll put my hands into the stand, I'll put my head into the my hands into the gloves, I'll put my head into the helmet, I'll put my feet into the feet, and then the front part will come forward and bolt in, and then that won't be any of that. And then the deep part will come in, and then the deep part will come on like this, and so that's all the deep part, and that'll come in, and that'll bolt in and attach to the head right via this piece, because this piece will actually be attached to the head. So that'll come in and bolt in there, and then this will come in, and this will actually be attached. This will come in with the torso because it'll be attached to the torso there. And then lastly, this front piece right here will come in and attach in. And that's the order of operations to put this thing on. Pretty cool, huh? I mean, just the fact that it comes in so many pieces, it's very, very Iron Man-esque. If you go look at not necessarily the Mark 1, but if you look at some of the suit-up scenes from the first movie where he's putting all that on, this is kind of, it comes in pieces and stuff, and it's just, I mean, there's a reason that the people who wrote the movies and comics wrote it that way, is because that's how it would actually go together, because you have to design a suit like this in pieces, essentially. I mean, eventually I want to get a suit maybe Mark 5 or whatever. I'll be able to step in, it'll just be able to open up, and I'll be able to pop out of it like Tony Stark, and then come back into it. It's possible, but for the first one, it's going to be bolted on in many pieces. It's probably going to take a while to get on, but it's going to be really fucking cool. Guys, that's another one down. You can see over here I have my little list that I can mark things off and get them done, and I'm getting excited. I'm about, I think it's 27.5% done with the suit now, based just on sheer number of files I've gotten through. It's coming along, and I am going to build this thing soon. It's going to be water jet cut out of a solid sheet of 1/8 inch aluminum. And then it's tabbed. If you couldn't pick that up, it's made out of a flat sheet that's tabbed together. And then I'm going to come in and weld those tabs together with a TIG welder. And I have a bunch of videos on TIG welding aluminum you can check out as well. But that's how I'm going to do it. It's going to be really cool. Really would help me out if you smash that subscribe button and join me on this journey. You know you want to. You know you want to see me become Iron Man. You guys have a great one. I love you.